Oh
How's it
shit!
going?
Welcome to the photo banter call-in, man.
How are you? I made it like by the skin of my teeth. I just got home and I was like, oh shit,
That's
someone's over.
cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, not many people called in tonight. It's a new thing, so it's like I done like this is the third one, so it's always just a gamble to see who shows up. But it's been kind of fun.
Yeah, I like the format of this. It's kind of it definitely makes it a little bit more not more entertaining. Not that it's not entertaining, but
Yeah,
it's definitely fun.
yeah, because a lot of it's like it's not even photography shit. It's just whatever, and it's just like
Yeah.
the one I did on Tuesday. Some dude called in. He was a pet photographer, and we were just looking at his like dog photos and stuff, and it
Hell
was
yeah.
random, man. But how you doing, dude?
Doing good, man. Kind of been busy, crazy. We just bought a house that we're renovating for about a month and a half before we move into it. So like
Damn,
that's kind of an insane thing to like pile on top of everything else that's insane in the world right now. So
that's what I
to
was gonna
like,
say, man. You got a lot on your plate
yeah,
right now. Trying to move in the middle of a pandemic. There's probably a lot of a lot of issues you run into.
yeah. I mean, it hasn't been an easy, but it's honestly, I'm kind of happy that we're doing it now
Yeah,
because I don't know how if things were normal work wise, I don't know how I would find the time to deal with all the shit that we're dealing with every day.
that's true.
Um, but you know,
That's cool, man.
but yeah. How about you,
So
man? How you doing?
yeah, man, just trying to stay busy. That's why I've been doing a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah.
Been doing this thing and just trying to it's kind of weird, man. Like I have some projects I want to shoot, but I'm still just trying to I'm still taking
Yep,
social distancing shit serious. Like I haven't really been hanging out with no friends yet or nothing. It's just
dude.
like I don't know. I'm not fucking around yet because I'm like I don't know about you, but man, I'm like I want to get back out there because we're both like
Right,
we're portrait shooters, man. So it's like you want to
right.
interact with people. So I haven't
Yeah.
shot anything since it really started, man.
I was pretty fortunate to like have a couple projects kind of stick around.
Yeah.
Some like longer form assignments that like it was like an 8 month project I was working on.
Yep.
That never really went away. It changed a little bit, but it never went away in terms of like kind of keeping me busy. So I was super fortunate about that. But yeah, man, I was saying with you, like all bets are off here in Texas. They're pretending like nothing ever happened, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
like my family and I were like, no, we're good. We're still keeping to ourselves, not going, social distancing, all that kind of
Mm.
not going out to public places, even though what day is it today? Friday. Yeah, today they officially opened Texas to like 75%, case
Yeah.
even though our case counts are like shooting through the roof every freaking day. It's just
Yeah, it's
like,
like Arizona, Texas, Florida, North Carolina. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, because what in Dallas, can you guys go to restaurants and shit now?
Oh yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want, basically.
See, we still
It's like
don't have that, man. It's still just takeout in Massachusetts. I think they just started like outdoor seating maybe this week or next week.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
Texas is they are going hard at it, and we're unfortunately seeing the results of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does not. The crazy thing is, it's not slowing them down. Like the numbers are going up every day, like
Mm.
by crazy amounts, and they're still just like plugging along with like phase 3 or phase 4 or whatever the hell phase they're on now.
Yeah.
I don't
What have you been doing? Because like I've been talking to so many photographers because like it's such a
know.
fucking weird environment. Like, how
Yeah.
have you? Are you still like marketing your work and like reaching out to photo editors the same way you usually do, or what's kind of been? I know you're busy with the move and stuff, but how you kind of
Yeah.
attacking that shit?
Honestly, I'm not. I know that like I've read a lot of stuff and been on, a lot of listening to a lot of these webinars and stuff that kind of say to keep it up and keep, you know, telling people your solutions through all this and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I get it; it makes sense. But like, I think just like with everything going on in the country right now, not pandemic aside, all
Yep.
the other like the Black Lives Matter, like just the everything,
Yep.
the perfect storm of like our country just kind of having its eyes open to all kinds of shit from
Hmm.
fucking socially, economic, everything. I'm
It's a lot.
literally from every direction. I just personally don't. It's just not. I don't feel like I have anything to say right now.
Yeah.
In terms of like marketing myself, or I just feel it's not the time to be self promoting. I mean, I'm not knocking people that feel this is the time to do it, but it's just not for me. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything. Just this week, I started reaching out to like editorial stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really reached out to anybody because like talking to some photo editors, they're still assigning stuff editorially and stuff. And I was just like, I got to get some money going.
Yeah.
You know? It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not turning down work. That's
Yep.
for sure. I mean, like, but I'm not going out and like, hey guys, remember me? Like,
Yeah,
I'm just,
it's weird,
feel,
man. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, but yeah, like you said, I'm just taking it day by day. I ain't trying to stress out.
Yeah, I mean, the only real job that I've had, the only real shoot that I've had, it was kind of like the perfect coronavirus assignment. It was basically like a landscape shoot, like an outdoor landscape shoot for Texas Monthly.
Sick.
And I just got to go like be by myself outside for 2 days. I was like, perfect.
That's funny.
I was like, man. I don't have to talk. I get to like get out of my house and get away from, being trapped in here, and I don't have to go talk to more humans.
Hell yeah, like dude.
Yeah,
yo, can I pull up your website so people can see your work?
Sure.
All right, cool. If you want to. I'll do it.
I've been like plugging, like that's that's been like a little bit more of my focus. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've been trying to like revamp. It's not live yet, but I've been trying to revamp my website rather than like marketing reaching out with like actual marketing. So I have like a big staging site that's all like fresh and new. My website was in dire need of I had like a year and a half worth of stuff that hasn't been put on my website yet.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, just the time, effort to like just sizing images and all that stuff. It's so much work.
Yeah.
You know?
And I have like pretty bad OCD, so like I'm like re-editing shoots from like a year ago, and just like it's probably retouching images for like the fourth time.
What are these photos we're looking at right here?
That was actually just like a test shoot I did with a model friend of mine, Michaela.
What's the lighting scenario if you're comfortable talking about this technical stuff?
Yeah,
because I'm sure people love.
The funny thing is I don't really remember what it was. And I know that I don't remember what it was because I got asked to replicate basically that for a shoot for a magazine. And I was like, I text messaged my assistant. I was like, hey, do you remember how we lit this? And not because mostly because it was like a really experimental day. So like we were changing lighting, just kind of playing around with stuff so many times throughout the day that I don't really remember which scenario came out with which result.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a mix between we had like a pro photo spot.
Okay.
We had a sky panel, a pro photo. I don't know. I'm probably using the wrong term for it.
Yeah.
The sky panel was like what we were pulling the color from. I had a soft lighter above her head to like kind of like stop some motion with strobe.
Yep.
And then like the weird banding stuff that we were getting was also, I can't remember if it was with the long like old school looking pro photo spot thing.
Oh yeah.
Or if that was a hot light, I can't remember.
What do you have like some favorite, like what are your kind of your go-to like modifiers if you're shooting like little like portrait shoot, editorial or something? You kind of have like your little go-to kit you kind of roll with?
If I'm in studio, I love this one that you're showing now. Is kind of like my favorite way to light stuff, which is just like a giant silk overhead. And then
really?
Yeah, giant silk overhead, and then like a bunch of just like fills. Like
that's sick. So you let's get like a 20 by like 12 by 12 or 20 by like silk and put it like on a little frame deal.
Yeah, this was a 20 by 20 silk with 4 soft lighter umbrellas above it. So diffused through the soft lighters and then diffused through the silk.
I see this photo like nonstop. I don't know anymore, but for months it was a photo folio like ads or whatever. I would see it like every fucking day. I was like, it was all over.
I was stoked when they used that in their like little advertisement. Yeah. But I don't really have a favorite, man. I like to mix it up, you know. I just like whatever it changes really depending on what the subject is or what kind of mood I'm going for.
I'm like the least gear person just because I'm a cheap fuck and I hate like spending money on gear unless I have to. Like all I roll with is I got this shitty ass like I bought this little Pro Photo B2 joint. They put it on. it's a little battery pack. It's not super powerful. And then I got like a little Calumet kit with a couple like Photech soft lighters, and that's about it.
Yeah. I bounce back and forth between like really liking to light things and then not liking. Like I can't tell you how many times I've gone on a shoot and brought all kinds of lights with me, thinking like, I'm gonna light the shit out of this, and then not even taking them out of my Jeep. Like they just don't even come out of the car.
Yeah, that's because like the stuff we're looking right here, it's all natural light and stuff. And stuff before was like it was lit, but it was almost kind of lit to mimic natural light and things like that.
Yeah, for editorial, especially stuff like this, where it was this shoot that you're looking at now, that wasn't really. I guess it was kind of a portrait assignment, but it was also like it was like basically 80% supplemental detail shots, and then like the portrait wasn't even really like the hero.
Yeah.
So I usually don't like stuff like that. This is lit. This was lit with like a Rotolux, like a deep Rotolux, I think.
Oh damn. Yeah, how's the rental scene out in Dallas? Because like in Boston, you can't really find a lot of that stuff. Like the Rotolux, like I don't really know anybody with it. You can just kind of get your basic like beauty dish and shit like that, but it's harder to find like the Ellen Crum Octas and stuff.
Yeah, we have a killer rental house here, Bolt Productions in Dallas. They're great. Yeah,
oh really?
It's a studio. I mean, they got any kind of camera, any kind of lighting, Broncolor, Pro Photo, continuous lights, full grip trucks, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean the market in Dallas is pretty big though, but I would say like Bolt is like the heavy hitter production house. I mean not production house, like rental house. And then there's like some smaller camera shops that also do like some rental stuff, like more Calumet style like lighting rentals.
That's cool. Yo, these are dope. This is what's that? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Or where is that one guy? This dude's like a DJ or something, right?
Stretch Armstrong, yeah.
Yeah, what's his deal? I've read about him before.
Stretch and Bobito, the guy next to him.
Oh yeah, they're like from New York, right?
Yeah, New York legendary DJ guys. I shot that for the Roots picnic, and then Stretch and Bobito actually ended up using their portraits of them for some.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit when you came to Boston when you did the podcast.
I think we talked about like the Roots picnic stuff. Yeah.
Damn, are they still doing that? Well, obviously not this year, but.
I haven't looked, but I think they're the one that they were supposed to do this year kind of got delayed because of.
Oh damn! Was that Lil Uzi Vert, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
My old ass didn't even know who that guy was.
Oh really?
Like,
I only know because I actually listened to this one hip hop podcast, so like I somehow know like a lot of different like random ass rappers for some reason.
Yeah. I'm very out of touch with anything hip.
That's funny, man.
I mean, my stepkids know who he is, but I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't really listen to it, but I don't know. I mean, this guy's cool. Mark, this guy's a famous like tattoo artist, right?
That guy was rad too. Man, I hung out and talked about. I think I took pictures of him for like 10 minutes, but hung out and talked to him for like 3 hours.
Well, he was just Hollywood, right?
Yeah, he's at Shamrock Social Club, Hollywood. He's also like an actor, but yeah, he's like a legendary tattoo artist.
This is was this for like a photo assignment, or what was this all about?
Yeah, so it was for a book called Creative Class. It was put out by 1814 magazine, which is like a fine art photography magazine.
Yeah.
So they put together like a book and a coffee table book, and it had like a portrait of an artist, and then on the next the next page was like a quote about creativity from that person.
Damn.
So I went and shot his portrait. I just happened to be in LA, and I know the guy who runs 1814 magazine, and I was just like, hey man, I want to go meet this guy. I basically like cold pitched him as like a subject matter for the book.
Hell yeah.
And my friend was like, yeah, I'll set it up for you. And he like made some phone calls.
Damn, that's what you got to do, man. This like make shit happen. This is like one of those, like I'm sure you know the feeling like when you walk into assignment, like especially like editorial stuff. A lot of times you don't know what you're going to be walking into, but like this is one where you walk into and you're like, all right, I'm going to get something good, so good with this stuff,
Yeah, and he was great too. It's funny because he was like, he just rolled in and like we were hanging out, shooting, talking, and like after 3 hours of talking, he was like, He's like, I got to roll. He's like, I don't want to like cut you off. I'm enjoying the conversation, but David Beckham's coming in for his tattoo appointment in a couple minutes, and I was like,
oh shit!
all right, that's my cue to leave. I'm
I'll
out of
get
here.
the fuck out of here, man. Oh,
But he
man.
was a solid dude. I'm covered in tattoos, and we were talking about tattoos the whole time.
That's sick.
And he was like, if you ever want a tattoo, come back. And I was like, I will take you up on that. That's something I haven't done.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
What's one thing I'm always curious about? How do you have like a way you kind of go about like organizing like just like your list of your clients, that people you work with or people that you kind of market yourself to? Like, do you keep like a PDF or like a file, or how do you organize that stuff? Because that's something I'm always just like trying to figure out a way to organize that stuff, because it's like it's important.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the things that like my OCD actually like benefits me in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't keep like spreadsheets and stuff like that, but like I meticulously organize my inbox of my emails.
Yep.
So every year I'll start a new 2020 folder in my inbox. And then I'll break it down within that folder. I'll do subfolders that are like advertising, editorial, personal. And then every time and then I'll do like a marketing folder and a promos folder. So then anytime I'm like reaching out to people or landing a job or anything, I create a new folder for that client. And then within that client's folder, a new folder for that job. So all emails sent or received like go into like very specific folders, so that I can kind of look back at like, all right, 2019 advertising job with this agency for that client, and I can like go and see like who I worked with, who the art directors were. Like, so I mean, I don't keep like a database of like contact information, but I keep like my inbox, or I keep my like archive of emails and like actual contacts like super organized, so I can kind of like reference back to all that.
Yeah, definitely. Because like, as you know, the longer and longer you do this, like even like last year, like I gotta get better at it. I was looking back through my like calendar, and there was like meetings I had to show my portfolio, and I was like, oh shit, I actually like forget even like meeting with that person. But you gotta like, that's how you stay in the game.
And the follow, it's kind of like I'm super organized, but like my follow up is not the greatest game in the world.
Yeah.
So I gotta get better about that. But I would say like once a year I do like an update to an actual like mailing list.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put new people on that may not have been on there, or I take some people off or change. If I know someone went from one company to another, I'll like make some edits and stuff. Yeah. But I probably only update an actual mailing list about once a year. But throughout the year, I keep my email archive like on point.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I was thinking about it like right now, because like none of these editors or producers are like working at their offices pretty much. So like there's zero print stuff. So there's just like everyone's just like emailing stuff. So it's kind of, now you got to get creative and like how to stick out, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually, as of this week, had some like requests for bids on jobs that are like gonna shoot in first week in July. Like, so,
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, just bids at this point. Hopefully they turn into more than that in the near future. But I mean, it's definitely like a sign of
getting it going,
a sign of life, or at least a sign of like life starting to kind of pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It'll be interesting. I've yet to have like be on a post-COVID production, like full-on production yet.
They're starting. I know my one buddy, he did a job, and it was like the whole campaign was like people going back to work. Like it was like campaign, like all the workers going back to like this manufacturing place. So it's kind of that type of stuff. So I'm sure you'll see a lot of those type of ads.
I got a couple buddies of mine, assistants here in Dallas, and I mean they're back to work, man.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, I mean, like doing Toyota shoots and like some of the other clients that are kind of like out here.
That's good to hear. Yeah, it's so different in like every state. Like everywhere is just so different.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, mixed stories on how the productions are being handled, but I mean, I know work is definitely a thing again, at least. I
just interviewed the Bloomberg Business Week, one of the photo editors over there, and they they've actually been given hazard pay to the photographers right now. So if you
Oh, really?
if you do assignment for them right now, they give you extra money,
Yeah.
just like whatever. I guess is for it's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
but it's good. I mean,
That is.
they're helping people out.
I mean, right on. You know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know that I deserve hazard pay, but like, I mean, I think I definitely like the principle of taking care of the people who are out there doing whatever needs to be done.
What's this series right here? Where is this?
That was shot in Dominica, an island in the Caribbean. It was for a tourism board thing.
Damn. What was like?
It was,
What was like some of like what was like the first advertising stuff you got? Because I think that's one thing a lot
yeah,
of people struggle with is like making
yeah,
a jump from like editorial for advertising. Because it's like even me sometimes it's like it's
yep,
just like, it's like a mind fuck just trying to get through that like wall of the advertising world and whatnot. You know?
right. I think we actually talked about this on when I was on your podcast a couple of years or however long ago that was. But I had like a really weird entry level or entry into like shooting advertising.
Yeah.
I shot a portrait of Stan Richards, who runs the Richards Group in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And him and I just kind of hit it off, and we had a great conversation. And at the end of my shoot, I shot a portrait of him for a magazine.
Yeah.
And at the end of my shoot with him, he was like, "Have you ever shot for us before?" And I was like, "No, but let's change that." and honestly, he turned to the I forget if she was an art director or maybe just whoever. He turned to whoever was with us and said, book him a portfolio showing when we're done here.
Yeah.
And then I got a portfolio showing with them, and it was like my first like real portfolio showing at an agency. And then I went from there, and I can't remember if that like turned into a job right away, but that was like my first like foot in the door of like at least even being able to like present my work without an agent, without any kind of like.
Yeah.
So,
no.
But it was cool. And luckily I was ready for it. I like had a book, and I had a book that I was happy with, and like I was like ready. So I wasn't like, oh shit, now what?
Yeah. What do you think you worked with Rep before, right?
I used to have a Rep, yeah.
What's your feeling these days? Is that something you're trying to like get after, or not so much, or you're kind of just doing your own thing?
I don't know. I mean, I'm torn on the topic. I definitely think that agents are super helpful. I mean, like even today, I was making phone calls to kind of get some help with a bid, just because some of it was a little bit. No, well, number one, I was tied up with like 5 to 6 contractors at the new house, and like I was just like being torn in like 100 different directions all day long, so I just didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
But it was also slightly just like I need a little bit of clarity on a few things to kind of like help me get my numbers like super accurate. Yeah. So in situations like that, I do find that an agent is super helpful, because I was like making phone calls today basically looking for help of like agent type help.
And that was the move, because I've done that too. And generally you pay less % to them because they're not repping you, so you don't have to give as much of a cut a lot of times.
Sure.
Like it'll be like 10 or 15 instead of like 20 or 30 or whatever it might be,
Right. But I mean, in a sense, like I would like to have to like not hustle to make the calls to ask for those. Like it would be nice to have just someone there, kind of just that does it automatically and kind of like gets the ball rolling for you without you having to be like involved in every aspect of everything.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm a super control freak, so like.
I know that's the thing. Like it's hard to trust somebody, because it's like if they're repping like 15 other photographers and like say they had a good month, like what's motivating them to like get off their ass and work that hard for you? You know what I mean? They could just put their feet up.
For me, it wasn't really a trust thing. It was more of because my agent that I had, I trusted very much so. But it was to me, it's just more of like a difference in like how, like again, just being the control freak that I am, like the difference in like, oh, I would have done it this way, and I would have done this way, and I would have done the marketing this way, and I would have done like, it's just like when you're constantly saying I would have done something differently, eventually like you get frustrated with thinking that way.
Yeah.
So you just kind of wish you were doing it yourself. But I mean, I don't know. In a way, I kind of feel like the grass is always greener on the other side. Like now that I don't have an agent, I kind of sometimes wish I did.
I mean, yeah, if you're still working out, just why fuck with it? You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah,
in the right relationship and with the right rep and all that kind of stuff, things would be a lot easier. You know,
yeah,
it'd be
true.
nice. It'd be nice to not have to deal with everything. But again, like I said, I think the grass is always greener on the other side. And luckily there are services out there, you know, whether it be Bound or Wonderful Machine, or I mean, even some reps are, you know, offering a la carte services to like
Yeah,
people who aren't on their roster. So like, you know, resources like that, like alternative ways to like um, traditional methods of representation, they're super helpful. I mean,
yeah.
I find them super helpful at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
I used Found Folios. I had a little advertising or like the little web page you pay for a little while, but
mm-hmm.
I haven't used it anymore. Have you fucked with any of that like Workbook or Ad Edge or any of those things?
I did a workbook for a little while. To me, it was just too expensive.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like unless you got bank, like it because those things
Right.
can be like $5,000, man. Like it's
I
more.
know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
But you know, but again, having an agent, I think would be cool. I wouldn't say I'm out there like pounding the pavement looking for it,
yeah,
um, but if the right thing kind of like came across my path, I would definitely be open to it. But
yeah,
I mean, but again, even that's like with all the COVID and everything, it's like even that's a hard thing to like pursue right now, or even think about. It's like
yeah.
I could be wrong, but I highly doubt any agents are looking to take on new talent right now during the middle of all this.
Yeah,
But
doubtful. I mean, shit, man. Mullen, the agency in Boston, they like let go of, like all their producers. Like Tracy that was
yeah,
there, she'd been there for like 25 years or something. They all got laid off, which was fucking gnarly.
yeah,
So
it's tough.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's great. Advertising game's tough out there, man.
yeah. I mean, it is, you know, I don't know that I don't know that it ever wasn't tough, but it definitely didn't get any easier. That's for sure.
Nah,
But
I love editorial, man.
I do too, and you know that's the funny thing. It's like I've had this conversation I've had this conversation with agents. Um, I don't get why. I've never understood, or at least in my mind, why like some white editorial gets like a negative like stigma attached to it in the eyes of like the commercial photography world.
Yep.
It's like, oh, your work's too editorial. Like I can't tell you how many times I've heard
Yeah,
that.
like what the fuck? Yeah,
It's like good. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. Like I don't know, I get like the polished. I don't know. To me, it's just more of a stylistic thing and not like editorial versus commercial work.
yeah,
But I mean, I don't see the harm in like a commercial photographer also shooting editorial. Like if it's a cool assignment and you're making cool work, like I don't need every paycheck to be a giant paycheck. I don't need like it's not about to me it's
nah,
more about like shooting cool stuff than it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like money too, but I
yeah,
mean I'm you know, I don't see the harm in doing both.
yeah.
I
Because like
really do.
Because like when you think about it, I think about this sometimes. It's like when you look at all the jobs you've done and the stuff you've shot. I know for myself, the jobs that I got paid for the most, almost like every time, are like stuff I don't even put on my website, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's like it'll be like for like some bank or something, which I'm glad. I love
Yeah.
doing those jobs, but a
Yeah.
lot of times it's like the editorial job you're getting paid like $500 for, and it's like you
Mm-hmm.
spend 3 hours with some like chef or like some random dude in his garage or something, like
Yeah.
you're saying this having like some cool conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I think the three biggest jobs that I shot last year in 2019
Yeah,
they're not on my website and they're not in my portfolio.
just because it's like stuff it's not really like artistic and like
No,
kind
I
of,
mean, actually, they were super cool jobs. They were very creative and very like, um, you know, great clients. Like everything about them was cool.
yeah,
It just aesthetically doesn't fit my body of like my overall body of work.
yeah,
So to me, it would be weird just to like
throw it
put it
on
on
there.
my put it on my website just because it was like a big ad job. It's like, okay, like you shot for the big client, we get it, but like this doesn't
Yeah,
like it's great. Like the work is good. Like the work it looks cool. It came out super well for what it is. Um, but it just doesn't match anything else, like anything else stylistically on my site.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
So,
it's
which to me, it would like adding just like putting stuff on my site for the sake of like showing that I shot for the big clients almost does, at least in my eyes, more harm than good because it kind of like makes my aesthetic look off.
yeah,
I don't
just
know.
like it just like waters it down because like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like photo editors or art directors, they want to see cool shit, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure to a certain extent they want to see the fact that you can actually shoot a pretty big production too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong by not putting it on my site, but like
yeah.
I don't know. I also like I don't know. My site is not again. My site hasn't been updated in a year and a half. So I mean,
Update this shit, man. Once you get moved in that house, man, I'm gonna give you a phone call, be like, yo, what the fuck's up?
man, it's just so. And you know what? Going back to like an agent, like that's the kind of thing. Not that an agent would do that for you, but
Yeah.
if that's the kind of thing, I think when you do have an agent and it's a good working relationship,
Like,
and certain things are delegated to them, it opens up more time for you to focus on
yeah, it's true. And it's
what
like
you're doing.
someone to bounce some stuff off and they kind of keep you in check if they're like good. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, you should try this, you should do this and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, I do that with my. I'm pretty fortunate to have like a really good network of like colleagues here in Dallas and back in Boston too. Just friends in general. I find our industry to be super friendly and
Yeah, man.
supportive. So I have no problem asking my friends for their opinions on if my website's getting a little too esoteric.
Nah,
Like, what do you think? Is this a little too? I mean, it's pretty dialed back now, but I've definitely put some weird shit on there and then taken it off.
yeah,
But
that's the hardest thing, editing your work, because it's like the longer you do it, it just starts
yeah,
piling up, and then it's just like so much stuff to go through, you know?
yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I try really hard not to like have my website be too much stuff.
Yep.
I don't want to put every picture I've ever taken up on there. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
because you put too much shit up there, it's like overwhelming, and it's hard to like digest. It's just like
Yeah,
it's annoying.
man, it does. Every time I try not to look at my website though, because every time I look at it, I'm like, well, this thing needs an update.
Like every photographer, like, oh, my fucking shit sucks, man. That's how I
Yeah,
feel. Like I'll have like that photo where you have like a good feeling, like, oh man, I shot something good, I love this, and then maybe like the next day, I'm just like,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Or I've had the opposite too. I've walked away from shoots where I've just been like, man, that shoot did not go well. Or not that it didn't go well, but like just walked away from shoots thinking I didn't really get any gold. And then I've gotten home and like started my edit and been like, oh, there's some fucking like been like super like surprised and impressed by like some like gems that were just kind of like hidden. Uh, so yeah, that can go both ways.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you shot this for
Fortune,
ESPN?
yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah,
Um,
have you worked with them at all since the magazine stopped printing?
I have. I want to say this may have been after the magazine stopped printing.
Okay.
Or like maybe one issue. This was like right around the time they stopped printing. I can't remember if it was like
Yep.
the issue after or maybe the issue before.
Yep.
But yeah, I've shot for them a couple times since they stopped printing.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They do good work over there, and all the photo editors are
Yeah,
pretty chill.
yeah, they're good people. Good
Yeah.
people.
What so what's next, man? Like what do you like? What's on your like anything you like want to work on or shoot or anything? And it's been kind of like on the bucket list or anything?
Nah, man. It's weird. Like during the coronavirus and now during all the movement in the country, um, I'm not feeling as creatively motivated as I thought I would.
Yep.
I mean, I definitely think that um, I think I'm struggling with the just if my voice, whether in the midst of the pandemic or in the midst of the protests, and I just don't know if I have much to say right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know that that's a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for me to feel. I'm waiting, and in the meantime, I'm just kind of like plugging away, trying to stay like productive in terms of like a job. I'm like
Yeah.
putting food on the table.
Yeah.
And if a job comes across, obviously like approach it with as much creativity and passion as I can. But it's in terms of like personal stuff, like personal projects. No, I'm not. I don't I think I've just like kind of mentally put a lot of stuff on hold for a little while to process what's going on in the world.
That's smart, man.
I mean, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Nah,
Time will tell.
that's the thing with like social media. It's like I have like dreams about this deleting all of it. This is like it's this constant thing. Well, you're smart. I don't know if you still do it, but last time I met you put your like social media like you only are allowed to use it for like 10 minutes a day, and then it like locks you out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. During the coronavirus, that 10 minutes a day limit has definitely been lifted. Not lifted completely. It's up to 30 minutes a day. But I still do have my time limit set on it.
Yeah, it's a weird job, man. Just because like, one second, light went out. Yeah, it's just a weird job because like photography, it's just all about you pretty much. It's just like, here's my work, and sometimes I can just get sick of that. It's just like, you know what I mean?
And I'm not a very public person. Like I'm not a very, I don't know. I'm very private. So like making like just constant self-promotion and constant like I shot this is like really weird for me.
Yeah.
So I don't have a great relationship with social media to begin with. I just find it very shallow and empty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, and it's just there, and there's almost like you start to feel like you have to like interact with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, in a way you do.
Yeah, it's weird.
You kind of do, in a way, have to use it. I mean, it's a tool. You'd be silly not to use tools. But
it's good and bad, man. Because I I talk to you on there all the time. I was chop it up when it's talking about what's
right.
That's the cool thing about it. That's like this podcast thing. I don't fucking make any money from it. It's really I just love shooting the shit with people about photography, and that's it. Like for sure, there's like an element of self promotion, but I don't even think it really works that well. But it's just fun, like talking to photography with people, really.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hardly ever post anything, but I like to follow people and see, like, you know, it's definitely very inspirational to me to kind of see what people are doing. But I've super tailored like who I follow.
Yeah.
I don't follow. I think I maybe follow like 2 like non-photography people. Like I don't follow celebrities and stuff. I maybe follow like 2 comedians, I think.
Yeah, comedians are good.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like to laugh? But like, you know, it's super photography centric, and it's cool. I just go on there, I scroll through some images I like.
Who are like some of your favorite photographers right now? Anybody here kind of hyped on?
Man, I'm like, I can tell screen names better than I can like tell people.
That is true. Names. Like, you know, people by like their fucking.
That's like know them by their Instagram handle.
You know people by their Instagram.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that I just think are killer. I mean, honestly, a lot of the guys that you have on your podcast are like some of my favorite photographers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like who was. Man, I'm gonna pull up my Instagram real quick just so I can. So I can kind of search their names.
I really like. I had him on earlier this year. Andre Wagner. He shoots all Leica 35 millimeter film, black and white. Primarily black and white. Just like his work is so dope because it's just like real pure. Like you can tell, like he shoots commercial. Like he shot like the movie poster for Queen and Slim, and he shoots other commercial stuff. But when you look at his work, you can tell, like, or at least when I look at it, I'm like, I don't think he really cares about that. He's just making the work he wants, like purely.
Right.
And like very few people can do that. Like even myself, there's an angle of like, how am I going to turn this into a job or something? You know what I mean? It's like, it kind of takes guts. It's really put your shit out there like that pure.
Have you ever had Jake Stengel on your podcast?
No, but I actually just watched some webinar. Me and Jesse Burke were watching this webinar today that like Workbook was doing. It was all about like diversity and stuff, and he was on it.
I dig his work a lot.
He's real successful. I think he still shoots a lot of film.
Yeah, what about like Jake Michaels? Have you ever had him on?
No, what's he shoot?
Like camera wise?
No, I'll pull up his website.
His Instagram is Joke Michaels. Jake. I dig his work. I dig his work a lot.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think.
Jake Michaels. I got him right here. I'm gonna share this thing. This is cool, man. We getting interactive right on here on Zoom, baby.
I know. Brian Guido? I don't know. That's Guido.
See, like all these guys I've never heard of. There's so many good people out there. Oh, this is
Yeah, man.
sick. Larry David, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, his I forget who he shot it for, but he had I remember like I want to say Amish people or something like that. Click on circa 1950 over there. I think this is it.
Let's see.
Yeah, this series was killer.
Holy shit.
I don't know who these people are or what the assignment was, but he fucking nailed it.
What? This is dope. Oh, they must be Mendonites though, because they got electricity right here. Mendonites,
Sure.
They'll have electricity. I know this. There's some Mennonites down the street from my house that sell they sell like bread and produce. It's like so good, dude. Bam.
Check out Brian. I'm gonna just plug other people. Check
Yeah,
out Brian Guido. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize, Brian, if I'm hacking your pronunciation of your last name. Guido.
got it. Like pull them up.
I don't know that I've ever been to his website, but his Instagram's dope.
Let's see. Is this showing up on your screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, he shot for Victory. He's in the Victory gang.
Yeah, his work is dope.
Damn. These are cool. It's like a thing a lot of people do. It's like a collage how they do their website. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to guess that East of Western did his website.
What is it called?
East of Western?
I haven't heard that one.
Company. Yeah, they do killer websites.
Was it kind of like a similar thing, like a photofolio, like you buy a template or whatever?
No, they're all custom websites.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they do killer stuff. I would guess that they made his just because it definitely fits the aesthetic of a lot of the sites that they do.
Damn. See, this is the type of stuff I like, man. Just real stuff.
Yeah, his work is killer.
Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
Damn, I'm gonna mark these down. I'm definitely gonna try to get these on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I actually really dig Justin, who you had on.
Oh yeah, just this week, Justin Bettman.
Yeah, I dig his work too.
Yeah, dude, that dude's a hard worker, man. Oh, these are 16.
Yeah, man, his the stuff that I guess the grit that he puts into like his personal hustle, and like he's constantly.
Oh yeah, like how he builds those sets like in the middle of New York. I'm like, dude, I was like, so do you like get a permit and like you just like set it up and break it down? He's like, nah, man, like we set that up and we just left it there for like a couple days. I'm like, holy shit. I would be like so nervous that shit would like fall on someone. He set it up in the middle of Times Square. I was like, dude, you got balls, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's a hustler, man. He does.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else. I can't. Where's my phone? Across the room.
Sean White. These are sick.
Yeah.
Damn, I like all this like sunlight stuff.
Yeah, he's got a killer. He did it's not on his site yet because he's probably like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But he's got a killer new project on his Instagram right now that he just did. Actually, I think it was for Bloomberg.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Got his Instagram. Damn, where he don't got his socials on his website. What up, Brian?
I'm sure I'm sure he has it somewhere. It's got to be there somewhere.
Let me see. Let me go back. It's not on his contact page. Let's see.
I don't know.
I got it right here.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah, the Bloomberg Business Week.
I love Bloomberg. This shit.
Yeah, he got some killer shots. Super well done.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are sick, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I don't know. Those are some of the guys I'm digging. Oh, I like that series too. Go up a little bit or down a little bit. That just click on the one and the dude in the middle with like the headlamp on.
This one?
Up one.
Right here?
Yeah. It was like a story about like dudes who like crawl through like border tunnels.
Fuck.
Yeah. Super cool assignment.
Dude, I couldn't do that. It's like my only thing. I'm good with heights, but I'm like claustrophobic as fuck, man. Like in elevators and shit, like I'll fucking freak
Yeah.
out sometimes. I especially like old buildings, man. That's like my only thing.
Yeah. I actually think he talks about, I could be wrong, but I remember vaguely reading something in one of his captions about how he wasn't super stoked about crawling through these tunnels either.
Fuck
But
no. Damn, man. Man, there's so many good photographers out there. It's crazy.
there really is, man. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, I don't know. I think our industry is, full of killer talented people. And I also find, like I was saying before, like it's nice that like everybody's like super supportive of one another. At least in my experience. I don't know. I guess maybe some people have different experiences. But.
Yeah, pretty much. I keep a small crew, man. So I kind of talk to Jesse Burke. That's my dog. And then
My RI homie, my Rhode Island homie.
I know, man. You got to get back out here, dude. Well, after the COVID ends, hopefully. Maybe in a couple of years. Who knows when it'll be all good.
I was just talking to my mom today. They were supposed to come out here and visit us in Texas in early April or like mid-April, and they had to cancel their trip.
Yeah, fuck that. It ain't worth the risk.
No. And my brother actually just moved from Cumberland to East Providence, so he's back in the hometown.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'd love to get back there, but I usually, I come back 3, 4, 5 times a year. But with the COVID going on, I don't see that happening.
It ain't worth the risk. And then, I went to Texas that one time last year to enter Dan Winters. I was there for 2 days, and then I got stuck there for like 2 extra because the flight got canceled. But Austin was cool as hell, man.
Yeah, Austin's fun. Next time you're here, you're gonna come stay with me.
Yeah, man. I've never been to Dallas, man. That's the thing. Texas is so big. Like, I want to go to Houston, man. Like, it just seems like there's just a lot of history there.
It's a cool town. It's a great food, great culture. Sucks in the summer, hot and humid. But
yeah.
I mean, all of Texas sucks in the summer, in my opinion. Being, from the East Coast, I don't know that I'll ever get used to that, but.
Yeah, for sure. But
anyways,
man, I'm glad you called in, dude. I think I'm gonna bounce and get some food. But I'm glad you called in. What do you got? Resist right there? Oh, there you go. Hell yeah. There we go. Let's keep it positive, man. We're gonna get through this and get through COVID and keep it positive.
Yeah. Right on, man.
Good talking to you, Trevor.
Yeah, man. Likewise. When's the next call in?
The next call? I don't know, man. I've been kind of doing it. I'm trying to figure out when the best time to do it is. I think I might do another one on Tuesday. Whenever I got free time, because I sit here, I was just like working on a little photo shit, and if someone calls in, I answer it, and then like that was it.
So what happens when nobody calls in? Is it just like dead air? And you edit around it? Yeah, basically
you called in, then my one buddy called in for like 2 seconds. I'm not even gonna use it because he just called, what's up? So I'm glad you called in, dude. We got like an hour in here, so man, people will be hyped.
Oh, did we? Right on. I don't know if people will be hyped to hear me talk, but
nah, they will, man. Dude, when yours came out, no joke, I got an email from a kid from St. Louis, and he emailed me when your first podcast came out, and he was like, "Dude, I fucking love this guy." I'm like,
St. Louis, yeah. and I'm not sick as a dog this time.
I know. That was brutal.
Dude, you don't even know. Like, after I left, I'm surprised I didn't get you sick. I'm sorry.
No, traveling. Being sick sucks, but traveling while you're sick, man, that's like the fucking worst.
I'm happy I didn't give you what I had that day, because the next 2 days after I did that podcast with you, I was like in bed, like basically like COVID style symptoms, but it was just the flu, just a bad flu. I was like fever of like 103 for like 7 days straight. I was in bed for 2 days in the hotel in Boston. Like,
that's the worst. You're like got the flu. Dude. You're not even at your own home. You're like at some fucking hotel. That's brutal.
Yeah. And it was brutal. And like and I was showing my family from here in Texas, trying to show them Boston and be like a host, like show them and I was just like, nope, go, you guys go without me. I'm like, I couldn't even leave the hotel room. I was like, bad.
There's Mike Pastry over there. You can go to Pizzeria Regina.
They did. They went to Mike's Pastries. They went to Daily Catch.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Fenway.
No doubt.
They went to Bodega, and I think bought a pair of shoes or something.
Damn, that's nice. Keeping it nice. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor. Well, you have a good weekend, man. Thanks for calling in.
You too. Thanks,
Later,
man.
Later.